Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. Let's see. I'm going to try first to brush through these lashes because the other night, you guys, I got so irritated with these lashes that I put some more bond on them and they just do not feel cute right now. So I'm just going to go through and brush them because, baby, they are in there like swimwear. Last night I was telling John, I was like, they're really irritating me. And he was like, well, why don't you just take them off? So I went to like pull one off. Baby, they're in there. So if you're looking for a really good brand of at-home lash extensions, I highly recommend. These are the ones I used. I got these off of the TikTok shop. They're really good, and their bond and seal is like cement. Is there no ice in it? Oh. Sweet tea. Okay. So I'm just going to brush through these really quick again just to get some of that bond out. And we just lost one. If I can get it. There we go. Honestly, fine by me. Fine by me. So here we go. I just want to put some fresh ones on. I'm just not vibing off the beat with these. Hi, Abby. Hi, Luke. Hi, everybody. There we go. Ah, that feels so much better. This one is like in there. But I just don't want to have them right now. My eyes are just feeling really irritated from having them. That's why I don't get my lash extensions done anymore, because my girl who does my lash extensions, like, baby, they do not go anywhere. And I don't know about y'all, but there's just sometimes where mama wants to rub her eyes. You know what I mean? Alright, so we just have, oh, that's my actual lash. Okay, so we just have a couple more. And I like to do this with the spoolie because it's not like yanking at your eyelid. Or like yanking your lashes. That one was hard to get out. Alright, we have one more. And guys, this is after me washing my face like 6 times. So just be cautious if you do get these lashes. Like, they're not the easiest to get off. Okay, I have my makeup remover here on this towel. Just to kind of, oh my gosh, that feels so good to rub my eye. Oh, that feels so good. I can't even just describe. lashes that I did want to wear were right here, and that is the only pair that I have until I go out today. So are we really gonna have to do more lash extensions? Oh my god. Well, I guess we're doing more lash extensions because I only had one pair of regular lashes left that I wore the other day for a YouTube video for literally maybe an hour. And now I don't know where the other one went. The one is right here, but the other one is gone. So, okay, well, I guess let's do some more lash extensions. I'm glad I took these off anyways. Like I said, they were just irritating. Like, I don't know. It felt good to get them off anyways. So I'm going to get my little lash extension kit. I'm going to do probably 4 18s, and then I'll do a 14, and the inner corner will be a 12. I'll let you guys know though if that changes. All right, I need my little grabber. Here it is. Okay. Let me just wipe this off because I'm sure it has Lash Bond on it. Hi everyone. How's everybody's Sunday so far? Alright, and then here is my Bond and Seal that came with the extensions, and I'm just gonna, I like to do it in sections. Okay, we got one on. And 2. And then I'll put on a little bit more Bond. I just like to work in sections because that Bond gets tacky really, really quick. And once it gets to a certain amount of tackiness, it can almost make the lashes feel like plastic rubbing up against your eyes, if that makes sense. It's like not the vibes. Okay. Little hair loose that would drive you crazy. So we're working our way aside. Also, always check your lash extensions for any loose hairs that might be hanging down, because babe, that is going to drive you insane. That's what kind of like pokes you in the eye. So any that are kind of weird, I'll show you one right now here in just a second that has like weird hairs kind of angling in different directions. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Like this one right here. Do you guys see that hair that's kind of like pinched below it, and then they're all kind of facing weird directions? Those you do not want. That hair is definitely going to poke you in the eye. Then I just use this to just kind of push them up a little bit. And now we're going to work on the inner corner. I'm going to do a 14 and a 12 on the inner corner. So we got our 14, and now I'm going to do our 12. And I got a little bit of bond on my face. All right, now a 12. Just going to push all of these up into that bond and let it sit. And I'll wait for this bond to dry, and then I'll scrape it off with a spoolie, but I like to kind of let it dry, just kind of like mascara, because it scrapes off a lot easier. All right, and I will not seal them yet. I like to let them set a minute, and we're going to just do the same thing on the other side. Bond. Move into the 18s, which this brand did give me three rows of 18s, which is my favorite length. The 20s are just way too long. For me, anyways. Some people love the 20s. I think that they're extremely, extremely cute. But they just, like, because I like to do, like, pretty eyeshadow looks and, like, cut creases and stuff. It's just really hard to, like, get in there and do that. But if you are one of those, like, when you have lash extensions, you don't really do any makeup, like eyeshadow makeup or anything like that, like it would be perfect for you. Oh, there must be some bond on here. There is. So we'll just get that down. Oh. Too much bond on my thing, so I'll try to use the finger. Worked perfectly. There we go. Boom. With a little bit more bond. Mr. Clean. I want to say thank you to the regulars, like the ones who come in every single time I'm live. I see you guys, and I really appreciate it. Just know it's not going unnoticed. I see you. I don't think Mr. Clean has missed one of my lives in a minute. Like, I can't remember the last time I was live that I didn't see Mr. Clean. So shout out Mr. Clean and everyone who supports me, because it means a hell of a lot. I hope you guys know that. Also, for my true crime comments that I keep getting, like, Morgan, bring back beauty and documentary breakdown. I'm doing something different. It's still obviously true crime. You guys are going to flip. My first one is already uploaded. It's just scheduled to be uploaded on Tuesday. And I had a few of you guys comment on my last live and say, hey, I know you said that we don't watch videos on Saturdays and Sundays, but I would watch it. I know that there's a few of you guys who do watch them when I used to upload on the weekends, but it's very few and in between that actually catch it. And then I get a bunch of people in the comments like, oh, I didn't even know you uploaded. For whatever reason, unless you have like a really big following, like I mentioned, Kara and Nate upload on weekends, they upload on Saturdays, but they also have a gigantic following. So it's just different. YouTube just, how can I explain this? YouTube is just different for bigger creators. They get that exposure and they are on the recommended page, and I'm just not one of those creators yet. We are manifesting. We will get there. So it just got to the point to where people were not seeing that I had uploaded. Like, they weren't getting notified, like, at all. And so I made the decision to stop uploading on Saturday and Sunday. That doesn't mean that, you know, might not change in the future. You know, we never know. But for now, I'm sticking to Tuesdays for sure. But I'm also considering Thursdays. This past Thursday, you guys, I was in a funky mood, which I'm going to upload a video on why I was gone for so long. Yeah, that needs to be a 14. Hold on. On why I was gone for so long, so on and so forth. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. And sometimes I still get in a funky mood. Like, I still just do not feel my best. And if I'm not in a good mood, I'm not going to come on to the camera and film on screen and then upload it to YouTube so that my little negative Nancy attitude is then pushed onto you guys. I'm never going to do that. I've said that from the beginning, and I stand by that. I will never come on here negative Nancy in a bad, shitty attitude and push that onto you guys. So, yeah. I was not in a good headspace last Thursday, which, again, we will get into all that when I'm ready. I did put in my last video that if we got, I think, 10 super chats or something like that, that I would do the video, which I stand by that. I just knew that we would not get that. So, but I do stand by that. If any video or live gets 10 super chats or 10 Venmos or 10 Cash Apps, I will tell it. I don't know. It's a hard pill for me to swallow that I let this happen. And honestly, it's not that I'm not ready to talk about it. That's not what it is. That's me trying to come up with excuses. It's that I overcome something so big and I let something else take me over. And it's just, I'm just disappointed in myself, but I'm very proud of myself because we are now out of those trenches and I'm feeling so much better and happier with myself and proud of myself, and I'm back to YouTube. So, which is, you guys know, is like my happy place. I've said this 1,000 times. This is like truly, truly, truly like my dream is to be on the internet. And I made so many like good friendships with so many different followers of mine from all over the world, and I've missed you guys so much. And to those of you guys who like reached out to me during the past couple of years, I just want to say thank you so much. That truly every time I would get a message, I would quite literally cry, because I don't know, when you're a small creator, it can be really easy to forget that though there's only 2,000 of you guys that are subscribed to me, there's much more that watch me, but only 2,000 that subscribe. That can seem like a really low number, but then think about all of those people in a room. It changes the way that you think about it and you see it. And yeah, I just want to say, like, it didn't go unnoticed. I appreciate everyone. I did reply. The email for you guys that you guys can reach out to me to is questions4shay@gmail.com. And so many of you guys emailed me during the past like couple of years, like, are you okay? How are you? Are you happy? Blah, blah, blah. So thank you to everyone who did. That meant a lot. But we're going to go ahead and move on because it's already 3:20 and we need to go to the grocery store. I also wanted to go get a quick bite to eat with John because neither of us have eaten today. I know. And I was hoping that we could go to a nighttime service. So, because I had alarms set to go to church this morning and completely slept through them. So I would love to go to a night service tonight. We were going to try a new church that's literally 1.5 miles, not even, from our house. So I'm super bummed that I literally slept through the alarm. By the time that I woke up, like, I had like 5 minutes to get ready and John was still asleep. So, plus we have our animals. We have the kitten that we rescued. This is the seal, by the way, that I'm just sealing at the bottom. So yeah, I didn't have time, but I really wanted to go to a service today. So I'm hoping that we will have time. I think their service, an evening service, starts at 7:30. So I'm hoping that we can go get a bite to eat, go to the grocery store, grab the things that we need for the week, come home, drop those groceries off, let the animals out, and get to the service is my hope. So we shall see. If not, I'm going to watch a service online tonight because I really just feel like I need some preaching today. So we got some so good sweet iced tea, homemade. Loves it. I also need to find some setting spray today. It is important that I grab some setting spray while I'm out today because this is quite literally all that I have. And that's just not going to work in the slightest. I may try another brand. We'll see. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and moisturize. I'm going to use the Drunk Elephant Protein-y Polypeptide Cream. This is so good if you have discoloration, high pigmentation, things like that. Let's see, where is my little brush? Okay, I have 2 of these. Also, we cleaned my brushes last night, so they're all good and clean. This set of brushes anyways. And I'm just going to, this is so hydrating, and I feel like my skin is like thirsty. Does anybody's skin ever do that? Because mine does all of the time. It's like it feels thirsty. So we got that going, and then I'm going to put in a little bit of the Royal Honey Propolis Enriched Essence. This is by Skin Food. I love this stuff. This is a Korean skincare brand, and they are fantastic. And I like to mix this in with my Drunk Elephant. And this is like a gel-like consistency. It's really nice. And I just take my little poof and press all of this. I like to press all that into the skin. This is a brand new clean sponge. Oh, it feels so good when you press that into the skin. Like, especially when your skin is feeling like mine, like it's just like thirsty. So good. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Nimya. This is the License to Glow Serum. This is Nikki Tutorials brand. Another one that I love and have repurchased. This is my 6th bottle, I believe. And I want you to see what it does to the skin. It literally will make your skin glow. Also, sorry for no music, but you guys know how YouTube is, and used to, you could just demonetize it and let music play. I don't know what changed or when it changed, but the other day I was live with you guys. Well, I uploaded a live sometime last week, and I had music playing in the background the whole time, and I just demonetized it like no big deal. Just as long as you don't try to monetize the video. It's never been an issue. Guys, I then went live like the next day or the day after that or something, and was playing music in the background, did not have monetization on, and they sent me a warning. Like, not even like demonetized or nothing, like they sent me like a warning for a strike. So I wish YouTube would get with the times. Like, babe, come on now. Everybody just we need to get on the same train like TikTok. Like, it's literally promoting people's music. I don't understand. All right, next we're gonna go in with the Nimya Where It All Starts cream. This is my most favorite primer of life. This is also my 6th bottle of this, which it's about time to repurchase this and the License to Glow. It's time to revamp. It is the most beautiful moisturizing consistency, super hydrating, but at the same time it has like this nice tackiness to it, and it smells like a sugar cookie. It is fantastic. And then I'm gonna mix, I actually purchased 3 of these before Becca closed down their brand because it is my favorite. I love it more than the MAC Stroke Cream. I have seen that Amazon is still selling some Becca, and of course eBay. And then I think you can still get it at like TJ Maxx and stuff, but it's not like guaranteed that you're gonna find this product. But this is the Backlight Priming Filter by Becca Cosmetics, and I am obsessed with it. I love it so much. The fact that Becca is no longer a thing as well is just so heartbreaking to me. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why they weren't able to make it work. I mean, I feel like Champagne Pop would have been enough, you know, to keep that company going for 100 years, but apparently not, which from what I've heard is that Becca was very, very fair on what they paid Jacqueline. So any hoozy hazy. And then I do just like everything. I like to warm it up into the skin with my hands, and then I'll just go and press everything into the skin. And again, this does have like a highlighting strobing feature, but it looks so beautiful and underneath your foundation. You just want to make sure that everything is nice and pressed into the skin, because if it's sitting on top of the skin, that is what makes you feel cakey. Pro tip from a makeup artist: it's not the powders, it's the liquids and underneath that aren't completely melted into the skin that is making you feel like a cakey pie. All right, now that we've got this nice and blended, I like to let my primers sit, and I go ahead and move on to my brows. And I am always going to be an Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Girl. This is in the shade dark brown. I don't know if that's going to focus. Probably not. Shocker. Let's see. What did I do? Brow pencil. Just brush these brows up. But the video that I have coming out Tuesday, I'm super duper excited about. Also, a true crime story that I had never heard of, and I have John in the video as well, as you guys requested on Instagram for his commentary. And I was really thinking that this might be one that he had heard of before. Number one, if you guys don't know, John is 13 years older than me. So I was thinking that this would be one that he had heard of, because it happened in 1990. So he was like, how old were you in 1990?
Middle school. Because I graduated high school in 95.
Yeah, he graduated in 95. So 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. He was like 13 years old. And I was really thinking that he was going to remember this, especially since it happened in Florida. I was thinking he would have, but he hadn't heard of it either. He said that the name kind of rang a bell, like the serial killers, like, you know how all of them have like names or whatever. But guys, it is based off of a documentary, so we're still doing the documentary breakdown thing, and I will be in full glam. I just won't be getting ready during it. But we break down the documentary, we talk about the true crime itself, all of the things, and it turned out really good. It took me so long to edit, but nowhere near as long as Beauty and Documentary Breakdown took to edit. Those, holy shit, I would be editing for literally 3 to 5 days. Like, no joke. Because number one, those take forever to film. You're filming for like 3 to 4 hours. And
or canned food.
Do what?
A little bit that you can food.
Okay, good deal. And fun fact, when you have at least 2 to 2.5 hours worth of footage, when I tell you editing that shit, baby, it's insane. And I have a full-time job. I do work from home, but I do have a full-time job. So, yeah. The difference in brow to literally my joke of brows that I have, quite literally a joke, is so crazy to me. But yeah, super excited to get that back started. You guys voted on, well, you didn't vote. I did like a questions poll on Instagram, and you guys suggested this documentary, which the documentary had, each episode was about a different serial killer. And I, of course, started watching episode 1 and got really into it, so went with episode 1. And the next episode will be on episode 2 of it. So we are going to do the first 2 episodes, and we'll see how it goes. If we want to move on to another one, if you guys vote for another one, or if you want me to move on to episode 3, but we'll probably move on to another documentary after this one. It's just really cool that the first one and the second one are 2 that I had never heard of. The one that you guys are going to see on Tuesday is happened in Gainesville, Florida, and Shreveport, Louisiana. And the one that I'm working on now, I've only got a little ways through it because I have to take notes through the entire thing. And so far, it's only based in New Jersey. But we shall see. And it's one, again, I had never heard of before. So we shall see. So far, I've never heard of this one. But I'm super excited. Super duper excited to get back into true crime. You guys know that I love true crime. It's just one of my favorite things to do videos on, because number one, these people never need to stop being held accountable for the sick shit they did. But also education, like this one that we did that's being uploaded on Tuesday, like has to do with kids in college and just going to college and just starting out. And I think it's super, super educational and informative of basically know your surroundings. Okay, on the lids, I'm going to go in with the MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly. Yeah, not sure if that focused or not. And I'm going to take a little brush. Again, all of these got cleaned yesterday. This is part of that brush set that I got off of the TikTok shop. You got 20 brushes for $8, and I would say that they are very comparable to MAC brushes. But I like to put the paint pot just on my lids because my eyelids get so oily and greasy, and so do under my eyes. So I just put a little bit of paint pot in those areas, and then I'll go in with concealer to cut the crease. We're going to keep the lids very simple today because the last set of lashes that I did on myself, I did like a full glitter look that day. And it just changes the look of the lashes, I feel, when you go crazy. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with concealer and fix these brows. I'm going to use, my favorite one to use for my brows is this one. It is a drugstore brand one, which I know is pretty rare for me, but this is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. And I just take some on my hand. And like I've said a million times, once you start like shaping your brow and putting concealer on your lid and getting like that nice blank canvas, it's like impossible to go back. I'm going to use a nice flat synthetic. This is the Laura Lee Los Angeles L17, I believe. The numbers are literally about to come off of this one because I use pretty much all of my Laura Lee Los Angeles brushes every day, but this one I definitely use every single day. And she's seen some things, you know? All right. Just like to draw that line just to make sure that they're nice and even. Yeah, we are good and even. Woo, that glue or bond is so tacky. It keeps catching my eye. All right, now to wipe this off of my hand, and then I'm going to take my little brush and make sure that this is all nice and blended. Hit that right in the center because, again, another place that I get oily. And now we are ready to do eyeshadow. I'm going to be keeping it super, super simple. Jacqueline 2 Morphe palette. I'm going to go in with the shade Love Handles Love handles, comfort zone, and perfectionist. Hi, Fatty. Well, I hope you have a really good day. And I hope whatever is going on in your world gets better. That is my hope for you. I feel really sad that things like that make you happy or feel good inside to say things like that to people that you don't know or don't know what they're going through. And I'm going to take this large Morphe blending brush and I'm going to put this right into the crease and blend right up into the front of my brow. And that's going to start to kind of build that nose contour that we're going to want. Okay. Then going back in, I just kind of mix. There's no rhyme or reason to how I mix those three shades. I just kind of mix them together because those three together are like the perfect transition color, I think. To the front of that brow. And again, you can kind of see now where that contour is already starting and we haven't even begun the skin portion yet. Okay. And then I'm going to take more of a tapered blending brush. And the one that I'm going to use is a Laura Lee brush. This is the L18 brush. It's nice and tapered. And I'm going to go in with the shade Homebody and just deepen it up a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with that previous brush, just mix those three transitioning shades back together, and we're just going to kind of hit that. Make sure that we've got a nice soft fade and no harsh lines. Okay. And then also in the same palette, we're not even going to move to another palette. We're just going to use Certified, which is this nice bone white shade, and we're going to put that on the lid and our brow bone. Do what? Oh. All right. Go Jim. Okay, Rizwana, how do you know what I do in my day? Do you know me? No, you don't. I think that you need to find some inner peace. I think you need to have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself why you're finding satisfaction on calling someone that you don't know what they're going through, on the internet, calling them fat, saying hi fatty, and then also commenting on their page, Go Gym. It's go to the gym. I love how when people leave comments like that, they never spell things correctly and it never makes sense. But what I will say is this, is that I do empathize with you, because there has to be something going on in your world for you to be scrolling on the internet right now. You're taking time out of your day and commenting on someone's page and saying nasty things like that. I've never in a million years, and I never would. And it just, I have no, like, connection to that type of energy. You know what I mean? So it just makes me really sad for you. But if that's the way you feel, you can go ahead and scroll on to someone else's page. And my hope is that you are nicer to them than you are to me. And if any of my moderators are in here, let him comment or them comment, because it's keeping them off of hopefully someone who might not be doing as well mentally's page. So I'd rather them be commenting these nasty things on my page than someone else's. So just leave them be, let them continue to spell Jim and go incorrectly and do what's making them feel better on this beautiful Sunday. Because if there's one thing about me, is I have a beautiful life. And I'm going to have a beautiful Sunday with my fiance, who loves me very much. And I'm going to go to church this evening where I'm going to pray for Rizwana Tariq. All right. And that's going to be the eye look today. Just something nice and bright and nothing too crazy. It is super hot in East Tennessee right now, so I'm completely and totally fine with just something nice and basic. And I'm going to have some sweet tea. Okay. So it looks like, is this person, okay, so someone has reported you. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know if it's ending my live or what's going on, but they're not, I don't know if one of you guys have reported him or what. Okay, we're just going to, okay, I'm going to see if that works. I don't know what happened, but basically they got reported. And it popped up on my page. So just be nice to people. If you are still watching this, just be nice to people, please. Just be kind. It takes a lot. There's no reason to be rude like that. Just be kind. And I hope whatever's going on with you gets better. I genuinely do. Okay, so I'm going to start with foundation, and I think today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little mixy poo. So I'm going to start out with the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I love this stuff. This is probably my 8th or 9th tube of this. It's such a beautiful, beautiful foundation, and it lasts all day. It's got a really pretty matte finish, which I like to mix a little bit of matte with a little bit of that glossy skin-like vibe. That is my favorite. So, got that on. And then I'm going to mix in a little bit of my favorite glass skin foundation. This is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation in the shade Camel. And my Hourglass is in the shade Vanilla. And then just a drop of this one. This is a much lighter foundation. And the reason why I mix 3 separate undertones is because it's going to even out my skin tone to match my spray tan. So this is the Dermablend Flawless Creator. It's actually pigment, so it's loose pigments, and I really, really love it. And also it does help even out the skin tone because it has more of that like peachy undertone, which is really good to help cover. Okay, and now I'm going to take my new favorite brush to blend out foundation. This is also from that Menage brush set off of the TikTok shop. It's a nice kabuki, and we're just going to start to blend everything in. And the finish that this gives, you guys, I cannot. It is so beautiful. And like, look at that match. It's unreal. Unreal. Also have been keeping up with what's going on with the Chrisleys. I'm so excited they're back. Watching Savannah's live of Todd escaping paparazzi in Nordstrom with a fucking Nordstrom bag on his head was everything that I needed. I laughed the entire time watching that live, and I was reading like a bunch of the comments of people saying like, oh my gosh, this was everything, this is like nostalgic, like love that he's back. And I was also reading some comments of people talking about how Julie isn't coming out and it's because she's embarrassed and so on and so forth. Guys, I did a huge deep dive on their entire case and told you guys then, like, I don't see any proof. There's no proof in this that says that they did anything illegal. They did not. Like, there's nothing here. And then you have all of these other attorneys talking about how there's literally no evidence. And all of these, even some people who used to be judges, like retired judges, have come forward and said there's no evidence. Then you've got that judge on the case who says there's literally no evidence here. And so they were already going to be getting an appeal. And you've got people saying, oh, they paid $30 million to the Trump administration to get out. Guys, come on. Number one, that's not Trump's MO. Let's just get that. He would much rather like talk shit about somebody. Like, it's just, it's not, it makes no sense. And the reason why Julie is staying at home is probably because she's not seen her kids in 2.5 years, and she would just like to spend time with her children, which, you know what, I think speaks volumes of who Julie is. And I've said this before, I've met Savannah on 3 separate occasions, 2 of which I've done her makeup. And one time, the first time I met her, Julie was there. And she was Julie was the sweetest person I've ever met, celebrity-wise. And Savannah is definitely like in the top 2 or 3. Like, so sweet, so kind, soft-spoken, like just a true, like, when you think of like Southern like mamas, like Julie Chrisley should come to mind. She's so sweet. Oh my God, she was so sweet and just kind. And it was makeup for a pageant makeup, and she was like nervous to ask if I would stick around, which I always stick around, but she was nervous to ask. And Savannah's finally like, Mama, just ask her. And so she was like, do you mind to like stick around, like to touch her up if needed? And I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna stick around, like, of course. Just so sweet, so kind. All right. Next, we're going to contour. And I am also going to mix. I told you guys, I don't love this on its own. This is the e.l.f. What's it called? Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. This is in the shade Light Medium. I don't love it on its own. It's super patchy on its own and it doesn't blend into the skin. It kind of sets on top. But I found that a little bit, just a little bit, mixed with my favorite. This is the LYS No Limits contour stick in the shade Harmony. This stuff is literally butter. The mixture of the two is really, really pretty, and it also helps that e.l.f. blend into the skin. The only thing I will say is make sure to put your LYS on first, because this shit dries down in like 5 seconds, no lie. And it's incredibly difficult to blend after that. So I don't think there's necessarily, you need this e.l.f. contour at all. The LYS is fine on its own, but I bought it, and so I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna use it. So, but you don't need it. You really and truly just do not need it. I don't think that it's that great at all. So now we're gonna do my little double chin hack. Cozy here. That is crooked as fuck, Morgan. What the hell? That is hysterical. So let's go back in with the foundation first. Oh my goodness, gravy. That is so fucking funny. That looked like actual shit. Alright, let's do this again. Oh, I see why. That one. So there's one side of mine that I always like go towards the cheeks, and I normally use the other side to do my nose, and I didn't do that. So that's my fault. What the fuck is wrong with me today? Have I lost it? Am I okay? Like, what the hell, Morgan? Jeez. There we go. Boom. Okay. Okay. And then, like I said, you do not need the e.l.f. one. It, like I said, it's super patchy. Definitely don't use it on its own. Super patchy. It dries down way too quickly. It's just not the tea. But I do like just a little bit on those areas, and that's quite literally it. And I do it right before I'm about to blend. Also, my favorite contour brush that I use to blend completely broke. It's the Laura Lee one, which, to be fair, like I said in that video, I've had this for like 4 years, and I don't even want to try to use it because all the hair is coming out of the middle. So I'm not even going to try to use it. I'm just going to go in with this one. This is another one of those Menage brushes. It's got a nice dome at the top. That's what you want. You want a nice point at the top for your contour. And just blend this out. I will say one thing I do like about the e.l.f. one is that it has kind of like a blush-like tone to it, like a reddish tone, and I kind of live for it. I like that. I love the shade. It's just when you blend it on its own, it is extremely patchy. I have a full get ready with me trying it, and I literally took all of my makeup off and started all the way back over. That's how bad it was. So incredibly patchy, and I just feel like, number one, e.l.f. has went up so much as far as their prices go. Like, I remember when I first became a makeup artist, their makeup was like literally $2 to $7, like even $1. Like, I remember their brow pencil was $1 forever. And then they got some clout about them, and people started to rave about them, and they decided to kick their prices up the wazoo. And now they've bought Road Beauty, for those of you guys who don't keep up with like makeup talk. Road Beauty, Hailey Bieber's brand. I'm sure you guys at least know that. She sold Road to Elf for $1 billion doll hairs. Yeah. She's still going to be like CEO of like something. I don't know. She made a whole Instagram post. But she's still going to be like CEO of something. I think it's like Concepts or something when it comes to Road. But I'm actually shocked that she sold, to be quite fair, because this is the whole thing about when people say that influencers and people who are not really beauty influencers, I won't say that, because I think that most all beauty influencers really truly love makeup. But I will say celebrities. By the way, I'm going to be using my favorite Sonia Kashuk brush for my nose and lip contour. You get these at Target. It's the most incredible brush for nose contour. It just really blends it in. But I do think with celebrities, this just depicts the money grab thing that everybody says, that it just feels like a money grab when all the celebrities are getting into makeup. This really truly feels like one, because Road Beauty was extremely successful. I mean, you have all of those little 12-year-olds on the internet who don't need to be using skincare at all. They're actually doing more damage to their skin by using shit. But them alone, God only knows how much was spent. And then plus everybody else falling in love with the lip and the lips and the lip liners and the blushes were huge. I mean, that's when it starts to feel like, oh, is this just like a money grab thing for you? Like, and she even said in her post she was looking for a brand that she aligned with or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't know much about Hailey Bieber aside from just, and I'm the type of person, like, I go off of like them and like the things that they do. I don't necessarily go off of like everybody saying like she stalked Justin Bieber for years. I don't know. That could be true. I don't know. The proof that I've seen is just kind of crazy, but I do think that it's really weird that she married someone that they had only been together for like, what, 7 months. That's kind of bizarre, but whatever, none of my business. But I don't like that she sold Road to Elf. I think that that shows that that was a money grab for her the whole time, and I don't fuck with that type of energy. I just don't. But let's move on to blushies. I'm going for really cheeky blush today, so I'm going to mix. I'm going to go in first with the Maybelline Cheek Heat, and this is in the shade Fuchsia Spark 25. Please, Maybelline, change this component. This is the worst blush component of existence. Please, for the love. It's just, it's not like, it's not realistic. It's just, it's not. It's a pain in the ass, number one. Like, and just please get us a tube with a doe foot. If the next blush that I'm about to use, they can sell for like $5 and have not only a doe foot, but a nice component, you can. Like, Jesus, take the wheel. Come on now. I'm about to rip this hair out, and I'm telling no lie when I say that. It is quite literally pissing me off. Okay. And whatever the fuck this is, Jesus. I got sunburnt, and it's just like not the vibes. Alright, so there's the blush. God, I love the blush. I love it. But it's such a pain in the ass to use. Like, nobody wants to use like a lip gloss tube to put on their fucking blush. Alright, She Glam. This is in the shade Rose Ritual. This is literally my 5th repurchase, and the only reason it's only the 5th is because it lasts so long, and it's about time to repurchase again because it is just about empty. And I bought this in March of last year, so this lasted a good bit of time. Okay, now we're gonna going to blend in the blush. I do like to spray my face before I blend my blush. I do not like this setting spray, but again, if I bought it, I'm going to use it. It just, I tell no difference in my makeup with this. I much prefer the LA Girl fixing set that you can get at Ulta. It's always between $5 and $8, and I love it. All right, let's blend, blend, blend. Look how beautiful. Number one. So Gorgina. I love it so much. It's just such a beautiful blush. And those two mixed together always do the trick. And I am using my Tom Ford brush. I love to use a scooped dual fibered brush for blush. And scoop just means that it has that slant, and dual fibered means that it has two different colored hairs, typically darker at the bottom, lighter at the top. And you can get dual fibered brushes at literal Walmart. But this brush set was a gift for me, to me, at Christmas a few years ago, and I absolutely love them. This hair is getting ripped out. Done. I gave it an extra chance and it pissed me off again, so it gets ripped out. Alright. I'm going to leave my blush and my bronzer brush setting down because I'm going to go ahead and conceal, and I like to kind of go back in and just kind of touch it up a little bit. It really brings through that like airbrush vibe. And I'm gonna first go in with my Lancome concealer in the shade 090. And I don't bring this one all the way up to the inner corner. This one's really just gonna stay right through here. Not all the way up to the inner corner, just right through this area. Okay, next, my favorite concealer of all time. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer in the shade Royal Icing. Now this one we are going to take up to the inner corner. We're going to cut this area here. And then just a dot on the inner corner of the Jaclyn Cosmetics Skin Perfecting in the shade Fair Peach. It's literally white out, and I just love how brightening it is. Just a dot here and a little bit more right here. Like, it's literally white out, but I love how brightening it is. And then just spray. I hate this setting spray. It's absolutely terrible. And we're gonna really watch our lashes here because this is where you can really F up your lashes. Alright, let's go ahead and blend. Make sure you look up so you don't set it in any creases. And then you can start to relax your lashes. I just love the combo. It's such a good combo. And Jaclyn Cosmetics concealer is not really a coverage concealer. It's more of a brightening concealer. And I really, really, really love it for just that inner corner, just for that extra pop. And I need to find a backup. I'm hoping she closed her business down as well. All of these gurus closing down shop. Laura Lee closed down. Jacqueline closed down. Rhodes sold to Elf. But anyways, I'm hoping that I can find some on eBay or something of her skin perfecting concealer, because when she closed down, I went to her website to purchase a backup and I didn't find it on the site. So I guess she stopped selling it there towards the end, but this is my last backup and I need a replacement. I cannot go without this highlight. There's just no comparison for it. I tried the Fenty concealer because I thought it looked like it was in a similar component. Then I checked ingredients and thought the one that I cut my brow with, the CoverGirl one, would be similar because it had similar ingredients. No, there's just no comparison. No. All right, going back in with the contour brush. I'm not adding any extra product to these as of now. If I need to, I will. But as of right now, I don't think we're going to need to do that. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my blush brush. Again, not adding any extra product to it. I'm just doing this so that it is more of a airbrush look instead of just white, pink, brown. You know what I'm saying? I can't with that. All right, boom, and then let's just hit this one more time before we set. And then I have two of these Sonia Kashuk brushes. One is for wet products and one is for dry. So I just take my one for wet products on there really quick. All right, and now let's sit. I'm gonna go back to my Laura Mercier. I used to the last time I did a Get Ready With Me, but I've just been really back into my Laura Mercier translucent in the shade Rose. I've just been into it, girl. Using my Beauty Blender powder poofy. And the first time that I go in with powder, I really like to press it in there to really get that set. And then I'll go in a second time with like a little bit more powder. To really let it bake and brighten that under eye. Set around the nosy posy. Anywhere where I generally get greasy, which is almost pretty much everywhere. Gonna do our little chin strap bake. Of course, up here, because she loves to get greasy on the forehead. Like, the forehead just loves to act a fool. All right, and now I'm just going to, number one, set that nose contour, but also bake right there on that inner corner and right here. Okay. Boom. Just use whatever's left and set my neck and my ears. Okay, I'm gonna let that set just a second. So if you wanna grab a snack or something to drink, now would be the perfect time to do so while this all just sets on my face. And it is 4:15, so I need to get a move on so we can get the foot going. Okay, taking my little kitten paw brush. You see how that just really opened the eyes, and that's not all I'm going to do for brightening on my under eyes either. So just, I'm really not into a creased eye, like seeing all the creases. No thanks. So we're going to do just a little bit more, and of course we're on YouTube, so there's no filters going on right now, y'all. Okay, I'm going to take my crease brush and just hit this area just a little bit. Alright, boom. Let's go ahead and contour. I've talked to you guys about this dupe 1,001 times. This is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. I love the Charlotte Tilbury. I have it right here. But this is the Essence Sun Club Luminous Bronzing Powder in the shade Sun Kissed in California. It is the almost exact match dupe if you're looking for a really good dupe. And then this is the Morphe M143 brush. They either still have the Morphe M143 or the EE or the E443. It's one of the two that they still have. But you'll just see large, just search large fan brush on the Morphe site. It literally just does the work for you. You really don't have to do much at all. It's incredible. I love this brush so much. And they actually, so when it comes to like repurchasing brushes that I love, Morphe brushes and MAC brushes are, and the Laura Lee ones are ones that I rarely have ever had. I don't think I've ever had to repurchase any of them except for a Laura Lee, the Laura Lee brush that I use for my liquid contour, which it is a synthetic brush, so that does mean that if you use liquids on it, they do much better on synthetic, but it can, you know, obviously take down the life of your brush, obviously. But I don't mind. Okay, then I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk brush that I use for dry product, and I'm going to do my Nosy Posy. And my lip. And then I like to go in with a little bit of a darker contour. And I'm going to go back into this palette because I just love it. This is Cab Cosmetics. This is Kim Zolciak and her daughter's brand that they have together. And this shade right here, I mixed this one and this one. This is Cinnamon and Sculpting, or Sculpted and Cinnamon. It's really, really dark contour, so you want to be light-handed. And I like to put these on the high points of my face, and it just really helps that look. And this is the L13 brush by Laura Lee Los Angeles. And again, just keeping it on those high points. Have you guys ever wondered why Laura Lee puts Los Angeles in all of her stuff? Like Minimum LA, Laura Lee Los Angeles, like, especially since she's from like Alabama, I've always found that kind of curious why she's always been like so proud of like LA. I guess because she come from nothing and worked her way up, so I can see why she does it. But yeah, I get it. She worked her way up from nothing to something and worked her way out of Alabama. So girl, you name all your shit after LA if you want to. Okay, now I'm going to move on to blush. Also going to be using a Laura Lee Los Angeles brush for it. And I cleaned these, me and John cleaned my brushes last night, and this one got stained by one of my new favorite blushes, which is the NYX Buttermelt blush. This is in Better Than Before. But I don't think I'm going to use that one today. I think today I'm going to go in with my favorite blush of all time, which is also by Essence Beauty, if I can get it. And it's in the shade Beloved. It's called The Blush in the shade Beloved. Guys, these blushes are so good. They are so, so good. I love them so much. And as I said, the last time I wore this blush, you will never see a bride that I do their makeup on that I have not used this blush. It photographs beautifully. It's just gorgeous. It stays put. It doesn't deoxidize. It doesn't like disappear into the skin, which is a problem with a lot of blushes, is they just kind of like disappear. Like, now you see me, now you don't. It's not one of those blushes. It stays all day long exactly where you put it, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And Beloved is such a pretty pinky mauve. It looks so good on so many skin tones. And if you have a really deep skin tone, they have a shade, Loving You is really, really pretty. And it's more of a really, really deep mauve. But it's what I use on my deeper skinned, beautiful brides. I'm just gonna do this right here on the sides. And we are blushed. Okay. Now, honey, let's see, what do I want to go ahead and do now? Do I want to do highlight? I want to do highlight, so I'm gonna try to get some more of this setting spray out. Let that set a minute. Gosh, it's gonna be 5 o'clock before we even leave the house. Alright, and I'm gonna use my all-time favorite MAC Soft and Gentle, and then on the inner corner I'm gonna use a MAC 2 stack, and this one is in Fresh Peach in the shade Peach Swirl, but we're going to go in with MAC Soft and Gentle first. And where's the brush that I want? They're all clean now, so it's harder for me to tell. I'm not seeing the actual one that I want, but that's okay. We can use a different one. Oh, here it is. This brush right here by Morphe, I love. It doesn't have any numbers on it. I think I got it in like one of those little sets that they do. But I love it for highlight. We're going to be very, very just not blending it in really at all. And I'm going to show you guys why and how I blend it into the skin here in just a minute. Just be kind of intentional about where you're placing it, but don't really blend it in. Leave those harsh lines. Just trust me. Trust me, okay? Then I'm going to take my Morphe 2 stack. Again, this is in Peach Swirl. And I'm going to get a nice pencil brush. This is a Morphe pencil brush from the Gilded collection. And I'm going to put this right on the inner corner just for a nice little pop. I'm also not going to do anything to the lower lash line, mainly because I like it better with like no mascara and nothing on the lower lash line when I have lash extensions. I don't know why. Is anybody else like that? Okay, and then I'm going to take that same shade right on the tip of the nose and right here. Smile where that light hits. Okay, and now I'm going to show you guys how I blend that out. I'm going to take my setting spray and spray. And then I'm going to take the side of my sponge and press into the skin. And what this does is it not only blends everything into the skin, but it's going to also pick up any extra powder that's setting on top of your face, which will again eliminate any of that. Look how freaking pretty that looks now. Absolutely love. Love, love, love. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my blush brush, not adding any extra blush, but I like to kind of just go over top of that. Okay. And then I'm going to take my pressed powder, which, y'all, this had to change because MAC decided to take talc out of their Studio Fix. And I need the talc. I need it. I need the talc. So I found one and I love it. It really deletes the pores just like MAC Studio Fix foundation powder did. This is the LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder in the shade Resilience Translucent. It is so beautiful. It looks banana-y on camera, but I promise you in person it looks just like the Studio Fix that I used before. I'm going to take this on my damp beauty sponge and get that powder right on the tip. And I'm going to press this right into that inner corner. And I want you guys to look at that. Like, pores, who? Creases, who? Like, so good. And again, we're on YouTube right now, you guys. There's no filters on YouTube. So what you see is what you get. Look at that. Like, so good, right? I love it. If you're looking for a good replacement for your MAC Studio Fix, now that they've reformulated it and taken the talc out, which erases those pores, LYS, and everything on their site is under like $20 or less. So run, don't walk. Again, we're just going to go back in with this just like we would for the airbrush effect. And then I am going to go ahead and set my brows. The Anastasia Beverly Hill Brow Freeze. Don't let me forget to get some setting spray while we're out. I'm like completely out. So I'm going to take that brow freeze into a little spoolie. You can get these spoolies off of Amazon. You can get like bulk. I pay like, I don't know, $7 for 400 of them. And set those brows so they do not budge. So good. All right. Now, I'm going to do my lips, then we're going to do the beauty mark, and we are donezo. And we can get the show on the road. Okay, for lip combo, I have been doing this pretty much every single day. This you can get, I have only been able to find them at Family Dollars. So they may have them at Dollar General stores, and I just haven't seen them. I don't know. But again, I found them at Family Dollar. It is the LA Colors Lip Contour. And this is in the shade Regal. So I go on with the thin side first and line my lips. So creamy, first of all. And then there's a thick side as well that's more of like a red. So pretty. And then I just put a touch of Jeffree Star Cosmetics in the shade Mannequin. Right there in the center, and we're going to let that dry. And while that dries, I'll go ahead and do my beauty mark. I'm just going to take some deep foundation that I have. And then I'm going to take a liner brush. Gotta find it. There it is. This one is that Menage brand. And I'm going to dip into that deep color. And we're going to, I used to take makeup remover on a Q-tip. Wait, this is not how I want it, hold on. What, Mama Cat? Yeah? Mama Cat's got things to say. Hold on, you guys. I'm not loving the way that this is looking. Hold on just a second. There we go, much better. Anyways, I used to take a Q-tip with some makeup remover and just take the makeup off, but it just started to make my makeup look patchy. So now I just put this over where my actual beauty marks are. I do have more than these two, but these are just my favorite two. This one is a little bit bigger than that one. So yeah, that's what we do. You just want to make sure if you do this with a deeper foundation that it's a matte foundation. And literally the one that I used is from the Dollar Tree. Like, it doesn't matter the brand, just as long as it is matte. That's what you want, is it for it to be matte. And last but not least is the gloss. This is Charlotte Tilbury. It is the Pillow Talk Big Lip Plumpgasm Gloss, of course in the shade Pillow Talk. And this is what the doe foot looks like. And it is the glossiest of glosses. To ever exist. I love it. Of course you are going to pay because it is Charlotte Tilbury and it does have a slight tingle, but nothing bad. And I'll put this in my purse. I'll also bring my pressed powder and my little beauty blender sponge. But that is all, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Sunday. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday and a fantastic week. Be sure to be kind to everyone. And until the next time,